Biological classification. Introduction. There have been many attempts to classify living organisms since the dawn of civilization. Aristotle was the earliest to attempt a more scientific basis for classification. He used simple morphological characters to classify plants into trees, shrubs, and herbs. He also divided animals into two groups, with RBCs and without RBCs. Two kingdom classification systems given by Linnaeus. Organisms were divided into two kingdoms, Plantae and Animalia. Disadvantages. This system did not distinguish between eukaryotes and prokaryotes, unicellular and multicellular organisms, and photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic organisms. Five kingdom classification system given by R.H. Whittaker. All organisms were divided into five kingdoms: Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. Fungi were placed in a separate kingdom called Kingdom Fungi. Earlier classification systems included bacteria, blue-green algae, fungi, mosses, ferns, gymnosperms, and angiosperms under plants due to the presence of cell wall. Chlamydomonas and Spirogyra were placed under algae. Kingdom Protista put together Chlamydomonas, Chlorella with Paramecium and amoeba. Over time, an attempt has been made to evolve a classification system which reflects not only the morphological, physiological, and reproductive similarities but also phylogenetic, that is, it is based on Kingdom Monera. Sole members of the kingdom are bacteria which occur almost everywhere. Many of them live in or on other organisms as parasites. They are grouped under four categories based on their shapes: spherical coccus, rod-shaped bacillus, comma-shaped vibrio, and spiral-shaped spirillum. Archaebacteria. They are special bacteria since they live in some of the harsh habitats such as extreme salty areas, halophiles, hot springs, thermoacidophiles, and marshy areas, methanogens. They have different cell wall structures other than bacteria. This feature is responsible for their survival in extreme conditions. Methanogens produce methane and found in gut of ruminant animals. Eubacteria or true bacteria. Cyanobacteria, blue-green algae, may be unicellular, colonial, or filamentous, freshwater or marine or terrestrial. Have chlorophyll A similar to green plants, are photosynthetic autotrophs. Mycoplasma, smallest living non-cells, can survive without oxygen, completely lacks cell wall, are pathogenic to both plants and animals. Bacteria are simple in structure but very complex in behavior, show most extensive metabolic diversity. Majority of bacteria are heterotrophic but can be photo or chemoautotrophic. Chemosynthetic autotrophs oxidize various inorganic substances and play a great role in recycling nutrients like nitrogen. Heterotrophic bacteria. Majority are decomposers and are helpful in making curd from milk, production of antibiotics, fixing nitrogen in legumes, etc. Some are parasites, cause diseases like cholera, typhoid, tetanus, citrus canker, etc. Kingdom Protista. All single-celled eukaryotes are placed in Kingdom Protista. Boundaries of this kingdom are not well defined. Members are primarily aquatic, reproduce sexually and asexually both. Chrysophytes includes diatoms and golden algae, desmids. Microscopic and floats passively in water currents. Most of them are photosynthetic. Cell wall has silica and thus indestructible. Body looks like a soap box. Form diatomaceous earth. Are chief producers in the ocean. Dinoflagellates, mostly marine and photosynthetic, appear in various colors depending on the main pigment present in their wall. Biflagellated, cell wall has stiff cellulosic plates on the outer surface, responsible for red tides. Toxins released by organisms may kill other marine animals, fishes, goniolacs. Euglenoids are freshwater forms found in stagnant water. Photosynthetic in presence of sunlight and predators in the absence of sunlight. Biflagellated, has one short and one long flagella. Cell wall absent but proteinaceous pellicle present. Example Euglena. Slime molds are saprophytic protists. Body moves along decaying twigs and leaves, engulfing organic materials. Under favorable conditions form plasmodium, and under unfavorable conditions they form fruiting bodies. Spores have true walls resistant to adverse conditions and dispersed by air currents. Protozoans are heterotrophs and believed to be primitive relatives of animals. Amoeboid have pseudopodia for capturing prey. Many have silica shells on their surface. Some are parasites. Example Entamoeba amoeba. Flagellated have flagella. Parasitic forms may cause diseases as sleeping sickness. Example trypanosoma. Ciliated have cilia. Gullet. Example paramecium. Sporozoans have infectious spore-like stages in their life cycle. Example Plasmodium, malarial parasite. Kingdom fungi constitute a unique kingdom heterotrophic organisms, show great diversity in morphology and habitat. Unicellular forms such as yeast is used in bread and beer making. Most of them are saprophytes, but they can be parasitic or symbionts such as lichens and mycorrhiza associations. Reproduction can take place by vegetative, asexual or sexual means. Vegetative reproduction by fragmentation, fission or budding. Asexual reproduction by spore formation such as conidia, sporangiospores or zoospores. Sexual reproduction involves oospores, ascospores and basidiospore formation. The sexual cycle involves 3 steps: plasmogamy, fusion of protoplasm between 2 motile or non-motile gametes; karyogamy, fusion of 2 nuclei; meiosis, in zygote result in haploid spores. The morphology of mycelium, mode of spore formation, and fruiting bodies form the basis of divisions of kingdom fungi into various classes. In some fungi, ascomycetes and basidiomycetes, an intervening dikaryotic stage, N+N occurs. Such conditions is called dikaryon and the phase is called dikaryophase. Kingdom Plantae includes all eukaryotic chlorophyll containing organisms called plants. Some are partially heterotrophic such as insectivorous plants. Example Cuscuta, bladderwort and Venus flytrap. Life cycle has 2 distinct phases: diploid sporophytic and haploid gametophytic, phenomenon called alternation of generation. Kingdom Animalia includes heterotrophic eukaryotic organisms called animals. These are multicellular and lack cell walls. Mode of nutrition is holozoic. Store food as glycogen or fat. Are capable of locomotion. Higher forms show elaborate sensory and neuromotor mechanism. Viruses, viroids, prions and lichens. In our Whittaker's system, there is no mention of lichens, viruses, viroids and prions. Viruses are non-cellular, that they are characterized by having an inert crystalline structure outside the living cell. Viruses contain either RNA or DNA. Bacterial viruses usually have double-stranded DNA. Viruses that infect plants generally have single-stranded RNA. Protein coat is called capsid made up of capsomeres, which protect the nucleic acid. Virus name was given by Pasteur, recognized by D.J. Venowski, demonstrated by M.W. Beijernik. Viruses causes diseases in animals as well as plants. They cause mumps, smallpox, herpes and influenza in animals. Viroids, discovered by T.O. Diener, was found to be free RNA, devoid of protein coat, hence named viroid. Causes potato spindle tuber disease. Prions is abnormally folded protein similar in size to viruses. Causes bovine spongiform encephalopathy (BSE), commonly called mad cow disease in cattle, and is analogous variant C.R. Jacob disease CJD humans. Lichens, symbiotic association between algae and fungi. The algal component is phycobiont, autotrophic, and fungal component is mycobiont, heterotrophic. Lichens are good pollution indicators, they do not grow in polluted areas. In plants, symptoms of viral diseases can be mosaic formation, leaf rolling and curling, yellow and vein clearing, dwarfing and stunted growth.